I would like to invite now His Excellency Ambassador Lars Faaborg-Andersen from the European Delegation to Israel.
Thank you very much. Dear Professor Rein, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure for me to be with you here today at Tel Aviv University to welcome participants to this final closing event of the ECOSTAR project. I feel honored to open this event, which brings together participants from 8 Israeli and 6 European institutions of higher education who have collaborated to create a uniform approach to the teaching and learning of English in Israel, aimed at giving university and college students greater proficiency in this language. I think Professor Rein is very correct in pointing out that this is actually a project of globalization. And you will become agents of globalization to a large extent. And globalization is, of course, something which a lot of people fear. And we have seen it, I think, very recently, both in America and also in Europe. I think a very strong motivating force behind Brexit was exactly the fear of the unknown, the fear of change, the fear of a different world that would leave people in a worse place than they feel they are now. But I think that the only way to cope with globalization is to try to turn it into a positive force. And one of the ways of doing that is through international cooperation, because irrespective of how we are looking at it, the problems can only be overcome by cross-border cooperation. And we need a common medium in order to communicate with one another in how to confront the problems and how to tackle them. And then we are back, I think, at the issue of how we create this common medium, this common language or frame of reference. And then I think we are back at the essence of this very project. Education, and in particular higher education, has a growing international dimension. The type of cooperation we are having through such projects has become a necessity since we all share, as I said, common challenges in a rapidly changing world. Education plays an essential role in preparing future generations to become active citizens, active social and economic actors, and in training future trainers at all levels of the education system. It contributes to social cohesion, equity, and transmission of values and knowledge, which are essential for the development of modern, democratic and prosperous societies. The European Union has already shown its commitment to our partnership with Israel in this important field of education, science and research. Through the partnership under the Horizon 2020 program, the European Union has become one of Israel's most important sources of research funding. Israel is also the European Union's privileged partner for international academic cooperation through the Tempus, Erasmus Mundus, and Erasmus Plus programs. In recent years, numerous institutions and hundreds of students and staff have benefited from these programs. They have been instrumental in reforming and modernizing higher education systems and institutions here in Israel. Tempus was the oldest international cooperation program of the European Union in the field of education, which gained a significant recognition among Israeli higher education institutions and various stakeholders. 10 million euros was provided to Israeli institutions during the period 2008 to 2013, and the Tempus program, came to an end in 2013. Many projects selected in the calls for proposal of the Tempus program are still active and will finish their activities at the end of their grant agreement. ECOSTAR is a very proud graduate of the Tempus program, and I think that it testifies to the success of it. Today is a unique opportunity to discuss our joint achievements and the way forward. I firmly believe that academic cooperation and mobility not only improve quality of higher education, they also open avenues for mutual understanding that runs deeper through our cultures and are among the best forms of confidence building measures that we have. But the European Union is determined to do more. Erasmus+, which replaces Tempus and Erasmus Mundus, will deliver something bigger and hopefully better. We want to build on the good work so far, increase the mobility of students and staff between our regions, and give greater support to the modernization of higher education institutions and systems. As you can see, Erasmus+ will offer many new and promising features for Israel. But its success will depend critically on you and your institutions, and I therefore urge you to explore and avail yourselves of these new opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, with the attendance of experts and people with different backgrounds, more great ideas and experience can be shared in this symposium. I very much look forward to a positive outcome of this event. I thank you once again, and I wish you a very pleasant and successful day of discussion. Thank you very much for your attention.